world of YouTube, and welcome to another episode of Redacted, the show where I take a look at records that have a solid foundation, but a spotty execution, and making a smoother listening experience out of it all. While I've been bogged down in higher concepts and thematics across months, and even across the year, I figured this month in particular, I would just take a step back and look at something current. Look at something happening that's been happening now, and celebrate an artist who's been killing it this year, Charli XCX, an artist that I love by and large. I think she's a gem, I think she's an incredible pop singer, and I think that she is a good voice in the pop scene personally. And this year, she dropped what I think is an incredibly solid batch of pop tunes that have some real bangers, that have some real emotional gravitas, that have some well pulled together collaborations. With that being said, shortly after that album came out, she dropped a deluxe edition and a particular single that have more bops that I felt like should have been on the album proper. And today, I'm going to pull all of it together and make an even better listening experience that further cements the explorations of love, loss, and being your own bad bitch self to the fullest. I'm talking about Charli XCX's 2022 album, Crash.
Beg for you, 'cause I'll beg for you.
Now, I reviewed the album in full on the listening log, which is linked in the card up here and in the description if you want to know my thoughts on the original version of the album. But like I said, I thought this album was really good. In fact, a lot of it has lingered with me throughout the year, even more so than I even thought at the time. However, when I revisit the album itself in full, there are still some songs that I just don't like. And when spinning the deluxe edition, there are some songs from there that explore the themes of self-discovery and finding out who you are that I think make the overall thematics of the record even more well-rounded and could have been put in the place of some of the other songs that just didn't land while retaining some of the hook writing style that was seen on the original version. Plus, she dropped the Song of the Summer and didn't even put it on the deluxe edition, and it needed to be on this album. So my goal, like I said, was to just make an even better pop record out of an already solid pop experience. Really getting to the roots of where this show started, of a solid album with a spotty execution. My version of Crash is 15 songs and 41 minutes. Let's go ahead, break down the track listing, and talk about why I kept what I kept in its place.
Hot in it, I look hot in it. Rockin' it, drop happened twice. You struck me down like lightning, lightning. Something about the way you hold my body tight, even on my lowest nights. Won't you wait another hour or two? You know I need you to stay. Yuck, now you got me blushing, cheeks so red when the blood starts rushing. Yuck, I always let the good ones go. Don't think twice, don't think about it. Don't think twice, don't think twice, don't think. I'm sorry if I hurt you. I'm sorry.
Now, I start the album the exact same way that it starts originally, with the title track and with New Shapes coming after that to show the bold sound that this record's going to have, the charisma that Charli has is going to be on point, while showcasing some of the great collaborations that this album's going to have at its core. I still love New Shapes. I think it does a good job at exploring the albums of heartbreak, forming your heart into a new shape. It's a great image, and I think everybody in the pocket on this song thrives with some good energy, and I love the soundscape of the song. But from there, I go into a big gambit of shifts by shifting Constant Repeat up a track in the track listing. I think it's a really good song to cement some of the sort of heartbreak energy that this album has going on, that I think sort of continues the heartbreak energy from New Shapes into a much more reflective state. I think that the hook of that song is magical, and I think that it's just another really catchy, synth-driven song that is fantastic. Before going into some bad bitch energy, some hot girl shit with Hot in It, a single that she dropped that was a collaboration with Tiesto, a fantastic song, the song of the summer, in my opinion. If you want to ask me what pop song I think was the best pop song to throttle throughout the summer, it's Hot in It. It's got a good groove. It retains the dance atmosphere that this album's trying to channel in Pockets in its most primal form. I mean, it's Tiesto producing a Charli XCX banger. I love this song. I think it's infectious. I think the hook is so addictive, and it had to be on the album, and it comes in at this point to sort of bring the energy up. You know, we're dwelling in this moody, forlorn reflections. Let's just tear the fucking night up looking sexy as fuck. That's the embodiment of Hot in It, and I think it's a good song, and I put it there for that reason. Before shifting dancing into the night, you know, you have the morning after the heartbreak, that is constant repeat, into Hot in It, before going into that late night twilight, where you're really, again, feeling yourself, you're in this dance groove, but you're just really in your feels. And that's where lightning comes in. You really think about how you were cut down like lightning. And I talk about this in a lot of my redacteds, but I think the transition from Hot in It into Lightning is my favorite on this redaction. I think the two songs pair really well together, carry the energy very, very well, and I think that it's a point that the album continues to build through into another transition that I absolutely adore, of Lightning into Move Me. The calmness that dissolves into the night of Lightning brings the calmness of Move Me in very, very well. That continues the reflections from that song while also keeping the energy relatively palpable. It's not as kinetic as Lightning or as Hot in It, but it still keeps the cogs moving, if not a little bit slower, while keeping that energy into Move Me, that forlorn yearning further cemented into Beg For You, another great collaboration with Rina Sawayama. I think both ladies kill it on this song, and I think the dance energy is still so very palpable. I love Beg For You, and I think it comes really well off the heels of Move Me, before slowing things down a little more, because Beg For Me acts as a shifting point, you know, your second chance, your new love, even, you could see it, a chance for you to get what you've been talking about throughout this point in the album, before realizing it may not be exactly what you want with Yuck. I love Yuck. I think it's a really good song. It's got a good groove. It's got a tight, funky, you know, bass groove to it that I think works really, really well. I love the synths on there. It's got, like, G-Funk adjacent energy, and I think Charli handles it very, very well. I think she channels a good pocket on the song while keeping that, you know, bad bitch energy from Hot in It channeled into a, you know, a little more of a slower groove. It acts as another sort of shifting point, because from there you get a little more sadness, a little more of that, you know, reflective energy on the next couple of tracks, with Good Ones and What You Think About Me. And I think these two songs paired together act as a good point to sort of illustrate the whole picture, you know, a little more intimately. You know, you get the persona Charli's writing from on this project on full display, with a look at the other side of the coin as well. You know, you get to see her talk about how she lets the good ones go, and how her attitude can affect those around her, before going even more into it with a little more energy. You know, we've been sitting in this sort of mid-tempo groove with these two songs. I want to ramp up the energy a little bit, so from the calmness of What You Think About Me, and the sort of bubbly energy that song has, I wanted to shift back into that dance kineticism with Selfish Girl. Again, a sort of simple look at the picture at hand. It's a song with a great energy, and it's a song that retains a lot of the moodiness from the last couple of songs, and I wanted to kind of dance in this moodiness for a little bit. And I want to carry that energy from Selfish Girl and that dance vibe into a different, more glitch-oriented pocket that acts as a sort of self-realization moment on the project with How Can I Not Know What I Need Right Now. A song whose hook is very similar in the vein of tracks like Baby, where it's very, very repetitive and cyclical, but I think it's to service the idea of the song, a song that sort of looks at oneself sees their flaws and actually thinks about growing from them. It's a good shifting point in the album where it kind of helps bring the album to its own resolve. You know, it's not quite the climax, but it's that build up to it that every good album needs. And I use it to keep the energy palpable, because from there, from the glitch dance atmosphere there, we go into a song that's really grown on me and further cements that growth or that self-realization after the sort of montage-style chorus of the previous track with Used to Know Me. A song that I do really enjoy, and I think that the dance atmosphere is one of the better parts of the song and acts as that good viewing of oneself from a distance moment. You know, sort of thinking somebody knows you, but they don't, and having that more affirmed with Twice, not thinking twice about the changes that you've made, sticking to your convictions, and staying grown. And something that I didn't mention in the original video because I didn't realize it until after I was re-listening to the original version after filming this, but Used to Know Me and Twice are the same as they are in the original track listing. I just add a song from the bonus edition after Twice to act as a better closer. But these two songs do pair very well together and fit really well together in the overall sort of, I don't want to say arc or story, but passage of time that this album seemingly illustrates through its lyrics. Before closing the album out with Sorry If I Hurt You, a look at the other person in this relationship from your new perspective. And I think it's a good point that the album should end on, because it's that point where the resolve has happened. You see the past seeing you now. You get to feel remorse for how you were to them before. And I think the build-up that the song has gives the song this show-stopping climax that it deserves. After the slow Twice sort of gets you in this nestled pocket, I love that this song kind of comes in after that and keeps the energy ramped right back up and gives you the flashy end that the album more deserves than the sort of soft, in the darkness Twice. And I think that it's a good closing point for the record. But that's my redacted on it. As far as the stuff that I scrapped Baby for the obvious reason. It's still probably my least favorite song on the album proper. And I scrapped Every Rule because while I like a lot of the softer moments and more mid-tempo jams Charli crafted during this album cycle, it's one of the tracks that I just felt like could have been left on the cutting room floor in place of one of the deluxe edition songs that I think is much better. And that's my version of the album. What did you think about it? Did you like it? Did you not? Let me know in the comments down below. If you'd like to listen to this Redacted, this pop-tastic Redacted, a Spotify and YouTube playlists are linked in the description. If you did like this Redacted, be sure to give it a like. If you want to see more of my music, gaming, and general notary content, be sure to subscribe. Special thanks to my patrons if you want to join their ranks to get early access to content, exclusive content, or to help drive the community is linked in the description. I'm going to go, though. Thank you again so very much for watching. I've been Viral Rack. You guys have good days, lives, and situations, and I'll see you another day.
Thank you.